Have you ever looked back on a year of your life and wondered where it went? Not because anything terrible happened, not because there was a major crisis, but because somehow life became smaller. The phone rang less. The calendar became emptier. The days started looking more alike. And the strangest part? You barely noticed it happening. Many people assume that major changes in life arrive with warning sirens. They don't. More often, they arrive quietly. One small habit, one postponed plan, one missed opportunity, one little change that seems harmless, then another, and another. Until one day, you wake up and realize your world isn't as big as it used to be. The truth is, many people over 55 dismiss these changes. They assume it's just part of getting older. But often these changes have less to do with age than we think. And when they're ignored for too long, they can slowly steal joy, connection, purpose, and even the things that make life feel worth living. Today we'll talk about 7 changes many people dismiss until it's too late. As we go through them, I want you to think about one question. Not whether these changes apply to someone else, but whether they might be quietly happening to you. Let's begin. Change number 1. You stop looking forward to things. At first, this barely seems noticeable. Life becomes routine. You wake up, you have breakfast, you run a few errands, you watch television, you go to bed. Nothing is wrong, but nothing is particularly exciting either. One afternoon, a man named George was sitting on his porch when his grandson asked him a simple question. "What are you looking forward to this month?" George laughed. Then he paused, and for a moment, he couldn't think of an answer. Not because he was unhappy, not because he was depressed, but because he had quietly stopped planning things that gave him something to anticipate. Many people underestimate the power of anticipation. A lunch with a friend, a family gathering, a weekend trip, a new hobby, a book you're excited to finish. These things give the future shape. Without them, weeks begin blending together. And when nothing is pulling us forward, life can start feeling smaller than it really is. The danger isn't that you stop looking forward to things. The danger is that you stop noticing you've stopped. And that leads directly to the second change. Change number 2. You start waiting for people to contact you. This happens to many good people. People who spent decades surrounded by coworkers, family, neighbors, and daily interactions. Then life changes. Children get busy, friends move away. Retirement removes many natural social connections, and gradually a dangerous habit appears. Waiting for someone to call, waiting for someone to visit, waiting for someone to invite you somewhere, waiting for someone else to make the first move. One woman admitted something heartbreaking. She said, "I spent 6 months feeling forgotten before I realized I hadn't called anyone either." That realization changed everything. Relationships rarely disappear overnight. More often, they slowly weaken from lack of maintenance. The strongest friendships usually survive because somebody keeps reaching out. Somebody makes the call. Somebody sends the message. Somebody asks, "How have you been?" Many people over 55 believe connection should come to them. But connection often belongs to those willing to move toward it. And if you're waiting for the world to knock on your door, you may be waiting longer than you think. Change number 3. You start saying, "Maybe later." This one sounds harmless. In fact, it sounds responsible. You'll go next week. You'll start next month. You'll call tomorrow. You'll take the trip someday. You'll join the group eventually. You'll learn the skill when you have more time. But something interesting happens. A life filled with maybe later slowly becomes a life filled with missed opportunities. Mary always wanted to join a local walking group. Every week she told herself she'd join the following week. A year later, she still hadn't gone. Not because she couldn't, not because she didn't want to, because delay had quietly become a habit. The problem with postponement is that it feels safe. There's no discomfort, no risk, no immediate consequence, but months and years are built from small decisions. And many of life's biggest regrets begin with the words, maybe later. The older we get, the more valuable time becomes, which is why delaying meaningful experiences often costs far more than we realize. Change number 4. Your world shrinks to familiar places. This is one of the easiest changes to miss. At first, it feels comfortable. You visit the same stores, drive the same roads, eat at the same restaurants, talk to the same people, watch the same programs. Nothing feels wrong. Comfort feels good, but comfort can quietly become confinement. Think about the last time you tried something new. A new place, a new activity, a new friendship, a new skill. For many people, those experiences become less frequent over time, and when that happens, life stops expanding. A man once told me something that stayed with me. He said, "My life didn't get smaller because I got older. It got smaller because I stopped exploring." That insight contains a lot of wisdom. Growth doesn't end at 60 or 70 or 80, but it does require movement, not necessarily physical movement, curiosity, exploration, new experiences, new conversations. A life that never expands eventually begins to contract. Change number 5. You stop feeling needed. This may be one of the most painful changes of all. For decades, people depended on you. Your family needed you. Your workplace needed you. Your community needed you. Your presence mattered. Your decisions mattered. Your contribution mattered. Then one day, life changes. The phone stops ringing for work questions. The responsibilities decrease. The demands disappear. And many people begin asking a quiet question. Do I still matter? The answer is yes, but many people struggle to believe it. One retired man put it this way: "I thought I missed my job. What I really missed was being useful." That sentence resonates with countless people, because purpose is not the same thing as employment. Purpose doesn't retire. People still need encouragement, wisdom, friendship, guidance, support, kindness. Your contribution may look different now, but different is not the same as unimportant. The moment we stop believing we have something valuable to offer is often the moment life starts shrinking. Change number 6. You spend more time remembering than anticipating. Now don't misunderstand. Memories are precious. They should be. Some of the best moments of life deserve to be remembered. But there's a difference between appreciating the past and living in it. Have you ever met someone who can spend hours talking about what used to be? The old neighborhood, the old prices, the old jobs, the old days. Yet when asked about the future, they have almost nothing to say. That imbalance matters, because while memories can bring comfort, anticipation creates energy. The future may not be as long as it once was, but it still exists. There are still people to meet, books to read, places to see, experiences to enjoy, conversations to have. The goal isn't to stop looking backward. It's to make sure you're still looking forward too. And finally, the 7th change, the change that quietly fuels many of the others. Change number 7. You stop being curious. Curiosity is one of the most powerful forces in human life. It keeps the mind active. It keeps conversations interesting. It keeps relationships alive. It keeps the world feeling larger than it is. Without curiosity, life becomes repetitive, predictable, smaller. One grandfather was asked by his granddaughter if he'd like help learning something on his phone. His first response was immediate. "No, I'm too old for that." Then he stopped and changed his answer. He said, "Okay, show me." That small decision led to something unexpected. More conversations, more photos, more connection, more involvement in the lives of people he loved. All because he stayed curious for 5 extra minutes. Curiosity doesn't just help us learn. It helps us stay connected to life itself. And perhaps that's the lesson hidden inside all 7 of these changes. Most people don't wake up one morning and decide to make their world smaller. It happens gradually. One postponed invitation, one missed opportunity, one less phone call, one less plan, one less reason to step outside, one less reason to try something new.